Most people do not fail because they are incapable. They fail because they never fully accept that their life is in their own hands. It is easier to blame circumstances than to admit that change requires effort. But real growth starts the moment you stop pointing outward and start looking inward. Owning your life does not mean pretending everything was fair. It means accepting that waiting for perfect conditions will keep you stuck. When you take responsibility, you stop asking who caused the problem and start asking what you can do next. That question changes everything. It shifts you from a passive position into an active one. Once you own your choices, even the small ones, you begin to feel grounded. You realize you are not powerless. You may not control everything that happens, but you always control how you respond. That mindset is the foundation of every lasting success story. Committing to one skill that matters. Many people are busy, but not focused. They jump between ideas, courses, and opportunities, hoping something will work quickly. This constant switching creates motion without progress. Real improvement requires commitment. Choosing one skill is not about limiting yourself. It is about giving yourself a fair chance to grow. When you focus on one meaningful skill and practice it daily, you start seeing improvement, not just in ability, but in confidence. You trust yourself more because you are keeping promises to yourself. In today's world, especially in the US, one strong skill can open doors that once felt closed. But that only happens if you stay long enough to move past frustration and boredom. Mastery is built during the days when learning feels slow and repetitive. Those days are not wasted. They are essential. Building discipline. Through daily structure, discipline is often misunderstood. It is not about being harsh with yourself. It is about creating a structure that supports who you want to become. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is steady. Your daily routines shape your future quietly. What time you wake up, how you begin your morning, and how you manage distractions all matter more than most people realize. Small decisions, repeated every day, either move you forward or keep you stuck. When discipline becomes part of your life, you stop depending on mood. You act because it is time to act. Over weeks and months, this consistency builds self-respect. You begin to trust yourself because you know you will show up, even on ordinary days. Choosing an environment that supports growth does not happen in isolation, but it also does not survive in a toxic environment. The people around you influence your beliefs, habits, and expectations. This influence is subtle but powerful. If you spend your time with people who constantly doubt, complain, or discourage, their mindset slowly becomes yours. Choosing a better environment does not mean judging others. It means respecting your own goals enough to protect them. Sometimes growth requires space. Fewer conversations, less noise, more time with people who talk about improvement and ideas. Even solitude can be healthy if it helps you hear your own thoughts more clearly. Your environment should support your direction, not fight against it. Staying consistent when progress feels invisible. This is where most people give up. Not because they are incapable, but because progress does not arrive when they expect it to. Consistency is difficult because effort does not always come with immediate reward. There will be days when nothing seems to change. No results, no recognition, no encouragement. These are not signs of failure. They are part of the process. Every meaningful outcome is built on a long period of unseen effort. Consistency is not about intensity. It is about persistence, doing the work again and again, even when it feels repetitive. Over time, these small efforts compound. One day, results appear suddenly, but they were earned slowly. 2026 does not need dramatic moves. It needs honest ones. If you own your life, commit to one skill, build discipline, choose your environment carefully, and stay consistent, change will follow naturally. Not because you forced it, but because you created the conditions for it to happen. If you want 2026 to be different, it has to start with honesty. Real honesty. Not the kind we say out loud to look strong, but the kind we admit to ourselves when no one else is listening. The first shift is responsibility. At some point, Every successful person reaches a moment where they stop blaming everything outside of themselves. Not because life was fair, but because blaming stopped helping. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for permission to change your life. You stop hoping someone will rescue you. You realize that even if what happened to you was not your fault, what happens next is your responsibility. That realization is uncomfortable, but it is also empowering. The moment you own your life, you take your power back. The second shift is committing to one skill and giving it your full attention. Many people stay stuck because they keep chasing too many things at once. They want fast results, so they keep switching paths. Growth does not work that way. In today's world, especially in the United States, people build better lives by becoming genuinely good at one valuable skill. It does not matter where you start or how old you are. What matters is whether you are willing to stay consistent long enough to improve. One strong skill, practiced daily, can quietly change your income, your confidence, and the way you see yourself. The third shift is discipline. Motivation comes and goes. Everyone feels inspired at the beginning. The difference is what you do when that feeling disappears. Discipline is choosing to show up even when you do not feel like it. It is building small routines that support the life you want, even on ordinary days. The way you start your mornings, how you spend your free time, and what you allow into your mind all add up. You do not need dramatic changes, you need steady ones. Discipline does not feel exciting, but it creates stability. Over time, that stability turns into progress. The fourth shift is being honest about your environment. The people you spend time with and the conversations you repeat every day shape your thinking more than you realize. If your environment is full of negativity, doubt, or constant complaining, it slowly pulls you down. Growth often requires distance. Sometimes that distance feels lonely, but it creates space for clarity. You do not need everyone to understand your goals. You need to protect them long enough for them to grow. The final shift is consistency. This is where most people fall off. They start with energy, but stop when results take longer than expected. Real progress often happens quietly. There are long periods where nothing seems to change, even though something is building underneath. Consistency is continuing anyway. It is working without applause, improving without attention, and trusting that effort is not wasted just because it is not immediately visible. Every meaningful success story is built on days no one else remembers. 2026 does not need to be perfect. It needs to be intentional. If you take responsibility, focus on one skill, build discipline, protect your environment, and stay consistent, change becomes inevitable. Not overnight, but steadily. And one day, you will look back and realize your life shifted because you decided to take it seriously.
you.